Well, ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube. Today we are talking ERGO, baby. Now this thing really popped and dropped, and we'll get into what is going on. But first, check me out on Twitter at Real6Fig. I'm always dropping little charts, things like that, when I can't make it to a computer to drop a formal video. With that said, let's get into ERGO. Now we can see that this thing started off about $5. Ripped to the upside 3x to about almost $20. We can see triple tops on the charts, and then it was pretty much over with from there. So one thing I am noticing with this right out of the gates is a broadening wedge. And so this is sometimes referred to as a widening megaphone. So we can see that, and the fact that the way these corrective waves have been moving leads me to believe that we may see another move to the downside. Now, let's really get into this because, of course, I don't know just by simply looking at this chart for this amount of time. So we need to break this thing down on a super high level. So with that said, let's just pull up some retracement tools and see where we're at. So currently, on an all-time low and high schedule, retracement schedule, we can see that price did come down and crush on this 61.8 level. Now we went all the way back up to this 38.2, came right back down, showing that there is really no support at all within the last few days with ERGO. And this is going back to the point where we might not be seeing this corrective wave complete yet. So with that said, what I want to do is let's just try to run a little Gartley on this because I'm seeing a bit of an opportunity. The one thing I don't like is that the B point would be higher than the A point, but we can see that this is a wick, and TradingView is notorious for having the wrong data when it comes to these wicks. So with that said, we can see that this full body candles are higher than this full body candle. The full bodiness of the candle, I should say, is higher than this here. So I think we will be okay. Now, the goal of this is to try to figure out when might be a good time to try and catch the knife. This isn't financial or trading advice, but I can tell you right here, we are looking at a potential spot for X. So what I'm going to look for here is that this is in between the 61.8 or 782 retracement level. And with that said, this is already going to be a 100% level. We already know that simply because this is pretty much evenly matched here. These 2 points here are evenly matched. So with that said, let's go ahead and just going to measure right from here. We'll go ahead and measure up to our triple tops. We can see that price action came right down to the 61.8 and 786. I think I might have said 782 there just a second ago, but it doesn't matter. The 786 is right there, and then we can go ahead and see that. I'm just going to go ahead and measure this out for you guys. Ideally, we want to see this price here, this shoulder, reach anywhere from 61.8 to 786. So the fact that it pretty much did that is good enough for me. So this would have been a zone where we could have expected price action to retreat. So now that we have that established, we can go ahead and try and figure out where the 127 retracement level is. And we'll do that. We'll figure that out by measuring point B to A. And so we're measuring off this part here. And we can see how price action did come all the way down to the 127 retracement level. And this is a very popular level for price action to get hung up and possibly turn around. What did we get? We got a symmetrical triangle off a nasty bear leg, which led to a nice pop in the price. And what's been going on the last few days? Well, Bitcoin's been raging on. And so that was a catalyst for price action to really turn around. But if we look at previous trends, there really is nothing different that happened here versus up here and right here. So at this point in time, I do think that it might be wise to assume that we may in fact come back down and test this 127 retracement level. And also on the 1 hour chart, I am seeing somewhat of a falling wedge. So that is good to see. And in addition, we can kind of see that this falling wedge is kind of squeezing right down by this 127 level. So currently, I do think that ERGO might be setting up for a replay here at some extension levels. So let's try to figure this out. So I think at this point in time, it would be safe to assume that ERGO is possibly trying to set up for another crack at this $12.41 level. And if that does happen, folks, we might be seeing a very nice move to the upside if we pass this. And you're probably wondering, well, how do you know that for sure? And the question is, I don't. But the answer is, I don't know for sure. But we can see that, this little head and shoulders pattern might be forming. And it's an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So that would be a very nice sign to see price action move to the upside. So I do think that as of this moment in time, there are probably more bullish catalysts to consider versus bearish with ERGO, as long as we hold right around this $11 mark. So if you see this thing trading down in the sub $10 mark, I mean, this thing could be going even lower, and let's just talk about that for a brief moment. So let's just say that ERGO cannot hold on to this 50% level, $10.67 to the downside, $8.26 would be the next stop down for ERGO. So it's anybody's guess at this point in time, but based off what I'm seeing here, a retest of this 50 is likely since we have this falling wedge here. That's usually a good indicator that we will try our luck with this. So let's take a peek at Bitcoin here, folks. And Bitcoin, like I mentioned in my earlier video, is really fighting this broadening wedge as well. And on a bigger picture with Bitcoin, you can see that I have ran some Gartley pattern analysis already, which leads me to believe that we may in fact be seeing a $19,000, $20,000 Bitcoin if we do not surpass $65,000. So if price action ranges, and it can range in this Gartley pattern all the way up to 65,000, if it goes higher than that, Gartley pattern is off the table. But until it does, we are still in a downtrend, because the last time I checked, we haven't hit 65K on Bitcoin since April. But surprisingly enough, Bitcoin right now is testing that $50,000 level. We can see how price is currently reacting. It's trying to break this $49,000 barrier on the 1 hour chart, but people keep selling off. So with that said, folks, we really are going to depend on Bitcoin for our ERGO charts and prosperity going forward. ERGO is setting up to the point right now where if Bitcoin prevails, I do think we will see ERGO take off as well. So with that said, big shout out to all my Patreons. Thank you all for joining, supporting the channel. If you're interested, it's $3 a month. You can get your name, YouTube channel name or business name up on this banner. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.